So just as a cursory observation, I wanted to ask, is there somebody in the classroom who is not registered on ERP and is still attending this one?
Sami, Hitesh.
What is your problem with the ERP registration?
So they have not corrected our fees yet, so we are not able to register it. This is showing that. So for all us, like the students at TMC, this is a problem.
Okay, so Hitesh, you will do one email through your faculty advisor asking for a permission to be registered, and I will reply to that one copying the ERP people so that they do it. Otherwise, they will not do it because the instruction for closing all registrations has been sent out to them.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Is there somebody who is auditing this one, took the link from somebody else and it has joined?
Me, sir.
What's your name?
Jayachandra.
Okay. Why are you auditing?
I'm waiting for my approval of additional subjects.
So will you be putting this as a request through ERP?
Okay. Actually, I'm waiting for a prof to approve my additional. If I get this.
Just hold on. You need to tell me your name. I will have to check whether. So did you apply for this course?
Yes, sir. You have approved for this course, but I'm waiting for other courses.
Okay, then that's nothing to be worried about. So where did you get the joining link?
From my friends.
Ah, okay.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, I have taken this course as an additional. I would like to convert it as a breadth. What is the procedure to do this?
You write a letter to the dean and apply through your faculty advisor in the department for converting this, and then it will get converted.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Sir, even I have not registered, but this is a depth subject for me, sir. I am from AI specialization. So far, the curriculum was not changed in our ERP.
See, for IDDP students for whom this is a depth, you don't need to worry
Yes,
because yours is by default centrally allocated.
yes, sir.
So you are centrally allocated. You don't need to worry about that part because this is depth course. This is on the question was only for people who are taking it as electives, additionals, or are just freewheeling over here.
So I wanted to take this course as an elective, but my request has not been approved.
Then please don't attend.
But this is the only course that is left for completion of my micro.
For your micro, I don't think this because this is not a mandatory course in micro.
Yes, this is not a mandatory course.
So take any of the other electives. There are I think there are 8 electives which are being offered. There are 8 electives. So if you are not approved to be in this one, please don't. So please go to the what I have done is I have listed out all of them for easy access of information on the Facebook page of the Center for AI. You can just go and look into that one. All the subjects which are being offered this semester, who is teaching, what is the course code, and what are the slots. Everything is given over there.
Okay, sir, I'll look into it.
Sir, but the other courses are not there in the elective list that is there in the ERP for us. Only this course is there and one other dependable and secure AI and ML.
Yeah, so that is so if it is not there on the electives list, that is something which you will have to discuss with your department in order to get it resolved. The center, so which department student are you?
Sir, from HSS department.
Okay, so you go and speak with your faculty advisor so that the department originates that request to include these courses. So Center for AI has made these courses open available for all across the institute. Still, if it is not listed, then you have to speak with your department. We don't have a role over here. We have already provided like all eligibility. So any of these courses are actually not which are restricted. All Center for AI courses are open for all students across all disciplines of all programs of the institute.
Sir, and what is the eligibility criteria for this course?
Zero eligibility.
No, sir, I mean the CGPA criteria.
Oh, okay. So I think this year we took CGPA greater than 9, or if CGPA is less between 8 and 9, then SGPA is greater than 9.
Sir, but my last sem CGPA was 8.88. Then
So you don't
is
get
it not possible? Sir,
no.
Is it not possible?
It's not possible, my dear. We have a bandwidth to handle only 200 students. I cannot do anything more than that, and we already have about 220 people who are registered, and there are another few which are on the parking lot. So I don't have a bandwidth to handle, because this is a 310 course, so there is some practical part of it also involved, and I will have to do that, and for that we need some focused attention. If it becomes a very large classroom, then I would just be doing monolithic unilateral delivery, and I hate it. Plus I don't have enough of TS to do it. Okay, so let me share my screen, and I had to do something for doing that. So this year I would be taking it in a bit of a different way. If you guys have seen things from earlier, I'm not going to use my old slides because I got bored of my old slides. So instead of that, I will be using handwritten notes on something which is called as a Jamboard. But I will be sharing those Jamboards with you so that it's easier. I just need to provision things on the screen appropriately. This looks okay.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, in the last semester, I have taken AI for economics course. So, does it will count in the elective of micro specialization in AI or not?
Yes, it will count. It has already been provided to the academic section, and they have already replied that they will include it in the list. It should not be a problem.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, great. So is my Jamboard visible to all?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Great. Now what I would do is so if you are not really conversant with Jamboard, then this is from Google, and it's sort of like a writing board for me. I will do handwritten things this time until and unless necessary to go to slides. And I have also pasted the link on the chat box over here. So every day I would be doing it. In case I forget, then you need to really tell me that I have forgotten so that I paste the link. And one of you in the class needs to volunteer to keep on seeing that the recording is going on. In case I forget to start the recording, then you are supposed to start the recording. That's it. What we will do is I had anyways yesterday sent an email with the link of the course website, which will have links to these Jamboard, and they will also have link to the videos over here. Now the videos for this class will still be available in private mode until and unless I decide that I'm going to make it available in a public mode. But since it will be in a private mode on MS Teams, so anybody with an MS Teams access can look at it. Now, for people who I have requested not to be in the class and not to audit this class, and others who just wanted to learn for the fun of it and still did not get admitted. So a lot of emails which I get down is that you really want to learn this subject. So in order to facilitate that, the links will be over there. And since all of you guys are from within IIT KGP, you will not have issues in accessing them over MS Teams. So please feel free to do it for anybody who is not able to get into this physical class. I believe that's also a good enough of pedagogical outreach which happens. Okay, so
Hello, sir.
yes.
Sir, the Jamboard is not opening. It is showing an error. It is.
Yes, refresh it. Otherwise, you should be able to see it on my screen as well.
Yeah, that I can see. Here it is showing that there are currently too many people. There is a
Maybe
limit.
it does not support too many people. I have no idea. I see there are 27 people and nobody should knock me off. In that case, I will stop sharing. Okay, so welcome to the first class for this one. Now a bit of bookkeeping information. So the LTP loading for this one is 310, which essentially means that this will be for the lecture component and this will be for tutorials. So tutorials will be graded and you will be asked to submit them. They will be, so we will keep the tutorials and everything as well as tests on MS Teams. Now these are graded, compulsory, and these are on MS Teams. The other thing which is there, you already know about the course website, which is given, so you need to work it out. The slot is F slot. This is a central allocation, so no changes or anything is possible in any way. The classroom which we have, if we reopen again, then the classroom will be NC412. Actually, I was scheduled to do it from NC412, which I realized today morning that they are not even opening for me to go and take a lecture. At least like I did not find anybody. So I had to again rush back to my office and that's where it caused a bit of delay. So, but I will try to find it out. As of now, again, the institute says that everybody is locked inside their halls. And because everybody is locked inside halls, so you are still attending it virtually, or if you're from home, then attending it virtually. Even if we open it up in NC412, then also we will continue in the hybrid mode. So there will be a stream on MS Teams, which will still keep on going on. Okay, so this is in hybrid mode.
Sir, what is hybrid mode?
So hybrid mode is some people in class, others on Teams. This is what it is. Okay. Now there are two tests in the two windows this particular semester. So this is for spring 2022. Okay. And there are two subject teachers. So let me go to the next slide. So subject teachers, that's me and Professor Sudeshna Sarkar. Okay. Now I am the coordinator, so the general request is please do not flood the email of Professor Sarkar. She has lots on her plate as the chairperson of the center and several other institute level large commitments. And actually, she doesn't coordinate or even get into decisions with admitting somebody into the course or not. So please send any of those emails to me, and please give me some substantial time, because at least in this start of the semester, I did get bombarded with over 300 emails in just one day. And I've tried my best to actually reply to every single email. And may not be everything is working in your favor. So 300 email separate threads, and every thread is like 5-6 things which are going on. I tried my best to put down over there. So please be patient in that kind of a case. Best about if you have queries about the subject and any of the topics which we do, then I will be opening up separate threads on topic by topic wise on MS Teams. So please post your questions over there. Now, along with that, we have several TAs who will be your default tutors in the class. Now, I don't know whether all the TAs are present over here, but I will just write their names, and maybe if they are there, then we can call out them. So one is Abhishek Kumar. So Abhishek, are you in the classroom right now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so Abhishek, can you just maybe turn on your camera if it's possible and people can see your face?
Okay, sir.
Oh, so that's Abhishek Kumar. He is one of your TAs, and I see Abhishek is already in the lab. Great. So next is Raj Krishan Ghosh. So Raj, if you are there, can you please turn on your camera as well so that people can see your face?
Is the camera working?
No, there is an OBS error screen over here.
Okay.
You need to disable OBS possibly, or go into your camera settings and just like shift from the OBS thing to the default camera.
Yeah, I will try that.
Okay, then I will move. The next one is Anupam Bhattakur. So Anupam, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, can you also turn on your camera, please, and people can see your face? Yeah, that's Anupam. He is also one of your tutors. And then we have Sista Raviteja. Ravi, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, can you do the same exercise, please?
Just a second. Yes.
Yeah, that's Ravi. And then another TA is Anjali. Anjali Raj. Anjali, if you are there, can you please turn your camera? Yeah. Yes, we can see you. Yeah. So these are your 5 TAs, and they are also your tutors. So any of the doubts and queries, you can post up on the channel in MS Teams, and any one of them will be clarifying. And please don't put down like private messages or anything about doubts. It's better that we actually share our doubts with everybody, and that way all of us get to enrich ourselves. Now, beyond this, grading is something where we will have, so grading will have, one is the first test window. So I will put down the whole calendar. The planning is not yet completed because we did not know when we can physically, when we can actually start the class, whether this week or next week. But now that it seems feasible and then we are on the first class today, we don't have a worry. So these test windows actually align with the test window of the institute, and we will have the test in the time of the class itself. And in order to make it simpler, what we would do is we would be opening up for the 2-hour window, which is on Friday between 11 and 1. So the test is typically 1 hour to 1.5 hours or something of that sort. We will take a buffer time of a 2-hour thing so that with all the setup and everything which you need to do, it's still pretty much in a safe thing. Now, along with that, there would be sort of like about 5 tutorials. Now, these tutorials will be worksheets and code submissions. We are an active coding based class, so you will have to code it down, and these tutorials can be a mix of worksheets and code submissions, which you will have to do. Now, tutorials are going to be open around the class time itself. Maybe that we don't do one tutorial every week. In general, what we would do is every 2 weeks we will keep a 2-hour window in order to do the tutorial. And some of these things are what you will have to submit within the class time itself. Some of them will not be within them. Now, the notional point is to have 5 tutorials, but we can definitely go beyond them and organize in a way where some of them are graded, some of them are just practice tutorials for you so that you don't face any problems. Then we will have some guest lectures. So I'm still in the process of finalizing them out, but these will be guest lectures from people within industry, some of whom are our good collaborators, and that will give you an exposure about where in industry actually deep learning gets into play. Next is about coding. So all of our exercises are on Python 3. We recommend that you use Anaconda framework for it. So please install Anaconda. We very strongly recommend and detest you from trying out things on Google Colab. So not recommended is Google Colab. Our exercises can be run on PCs. Codes can be run on PC, Linux, Windows, Mac, without GPU itself. So you don't need to worry about that. And our library is PyTorch. So whichever is the recent version of PyTorch, please have it locally installed on your machines in order to run them. So this is from the environment side of it on which we would like to do it.
Okay. Sir, any particular reasons why Google Colab is not suggested? Because that is the most main user-friendly interface is what I personally feel.
Yeah, so that you guys actually do some practical work and not just bask in the glory of Google Colab. The other problem is that if I recommend that, I know that say about 100 people or 200 people who originate a request from the KGP campus itself, there would be only 20-25 of them who will be serviced. All others will be kept in the parking. As a result of which, during the class, none of your code. So 200 requests from one geolocation, it will not cater to it. It will curtail the traffic. So it means that all of them are not able to do it together. So essentially my class is delayed. That's the reason of not doing it. And given the fact that we are not going to run very massive data experiments in any way, or which requires GPUs, so Google Colab is something which is not at all recommended for you to do. All of these things, whatever we run, you can pretty much run them in your CPU-based machines itself. Now comes down the books. So the first textbook which I recommend is Neural Networks and Learning Machines by Simon Haken, because the background of whatever we do in deep learning is from this particular book itself. I mean, everything lies essentially in your neural networks, and because it's on neural networks, so the primary textbook on neural network is something which I very strongly recommend over here. Okay. The next one will be deep learning. And this is by Ian Goodfellow. Yashua Bengio and Aaron Kurvil. So these are typically two books which I definitely recommend over there. Now, if you are weak with the linear algebra and multilinear tensor algebra part of it, then definitely the deep learning books first part is something which you would very strongly require. But other than that, in general, we are going to cover most of the stuff in our class, so you don't need to worry about the coverage part of it. And since all the videos and everything is recorded and made available on a device, so please, in case if you are missing some classes, then please revise them before you appear for the next class, so that there is no problem for you to understand it. Otherwise, it creates unnecessary problems when you are not able to understand. Okay, so this was one part of it. Now there are several journals and conference papers, and over a period of time, I would be getting you introduced to them as well. Okay, so at the start, I would actually be starting with some basic introduction today. The question is, how many of you have already worked on something with deep learning? And you guys can raise your hand. That's an easier method. Mm-hmm. Okay, it's a good number. About 31 hands is what I see raised. Then and then some are getting unraised as well. Okay, so good. And you can put your hands down. Okay, great. So some people have some exposure and some experience of working with deep learning. Now, coming to it, like where it starts from as a basic definition, it's pretty interesting. So all of this deep learning is something which has its root in traditional machine learning. Now, the word over here is what is called as learning. Just a minute. Why did it hang? So, It writes with my finger, but it doesn't write with the pen, which makes it interesting. Still doesn't do it. Okay, then I will have to just dictate as of now. There is nothing major. So machine learning, or as the definition it says, is essentially a computer program which learns with respect to certain experience. So there is this thing which we called as experience, which is called as E. And in order to perform a task T, and you measure the performance with a measure called as P. Now what it says is that if this increases for a specific task, then this P, or the performance, will also increase. Now this is a very interesting thing which will happen over here. So if E increases, then P will increase. And only in that case, you would say that something is learning. Now, from a very standard definition point, what this would imply is quite interesting. So what we know essentially by this thing called as experience is I am looking at a certain kind of data in order to make a decision. So the more and more data I am looking at will help me in making my decision in a better and better way. Now, the better I am at making my decisions, the improved is my performance, which I see over here. So that's essentially what we look through this definition over here. Now, keep something in mind that the task which we are seeing over here, that is specific, and this whole thing has to be linked to that task. So if it doesn't work out really good with respect to the task, then definitely it's not going to be of any help over here. So that task is really critical and definitely something which we need to keep in mind. Now, from the task perspective, what it means is something like this. So say during my training, or when my machine was getting my experience, I showed it images of apple versus oranges. So essentially the task over here was to discriminate or classify between apples and oranges. Now, during the test time or inference, if I now give it a banana, so say I give it images of apples versus bananas. Now, the accuracy with which it can actually predict out a banana is going to be low because it has not actually seen this task earlier. So during training, I had not shown the whole machine learning system or my deep learning system over here any banana images, and as a result of which it doesn't know exactly what a banana looks like, and now it will not be able to perform. So you need to keep that in mind, that when measuring performance, this performance is something which is always to be measured with respect to that task on which the machine had actually gained its experience in order to start working. So this is a very classical definition, and this is a definition which was which is actually very old, and it was proposed by Tom Mitchell. Now, if you don't know about this guy, then he's the one who wrote down the first textbook and the most popular textbook on machine learning itself. So I'm just taking up the definition from there. So this is where I would close, because my purpose today was just to get briefed with the class and get you some of these basic bookkeeping thing and what we'll start on. And tomorrow onwards is where we actually start the lecture with the main contents over here. So that's all. So any questions, anybody, or anything about the bookkeeping where you need a clarity, would be happy to answer them.
So what will be the format of tests?
It's going to be MCQ and fill in the blanks kind of thing.
So will the libraries be taught in the class, or we need to learn by ourselves?
So we will provide you certain basic tutorials about using these software libraries, and when I say tutorials, I did say that not every of the tutorial is graded. So there are some where we do a hand holding, where you are getting introduced to this whole thing. So that's the one where we don't grade you, but there will be a component of that which you will have to solve by yourself after we have done the handholding part of it and submit them. And once you submit them, they are graded.
Okay.
Sir, in the course website, it is mentioned as quizzes, which is part of 20%. So those are will be taken at the time of exam, or it is something separate thing?
No, quiz is essentially these assignments which will have these tutorials or other things which you'll have to submit. So you will have to, let's give you an example. So say you will have to submit a code. Along with the code, we will also ask you a certain set of questions, which relates to how you designed the code in order to solve that problem.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thanks.
So how is this course different from the deep learning course offered by the CSE department?
So CS is a 310. It does not have, it's a 300. It does not have the tutorial component. So, and that one is more of like just a theoretical course. We also have a large part of applications, which is very critical for us. So applications will range from natural language processing to text analytics to computer vision and medical image analysis.
Thank you.
Sir?
Yes.
There might be cases where like the laptops may have issues running the codes due sometimes like some error in Anaconda. Then in those cases, can we use some cloud platform as an alternative?
You may use, except for like it's recommended that not all of you together jump onto the same cloud platform to do it. Then it will just not work. That's it.
Okay, sir. Okay.
No query.
Yes, somebody wanted to say something?
Sir, I have a small query.
Yeah,
sir,
please.
Can you please list out the elective list of component B in order to complete the micro specialization? So I completed ML and AI courses which are mandatory to complete micro specialization. In the document, there are only 4 courses listed and stated that more electives will be added, but we don't know which electives are added. Can you please list out, sir?
Just a minute.
Or where?
No. I will wait. Just a minute. There is. I'm trying to look for that email. I got it. I've pasted it on the chat.
Thank you, sir.
So the monthly test would be MCQ based or theoretical?
Oh, MCQs. We are not taking any like written submissions or large text kind of thing.
Okay, sir.
It's not possible. 220 students. Who is going to sit and correct? So they will be carefully designed. So there will be a coding exercise plus there will be some quiz part of it, and you will have to be able to solve both of them.
Okay, sir.
Excuse me, sir. Sir, I have a very general doubt. So, to complete the micro specialization, if someone of us are taking courses in additional, so that would also be counted, right? It's not necessary to like take all the courses only in electives or breadth.
No, I think with additionals also because I mean you cannot take everything as electives. There are some numbers which you will have to take as additional, some number of credits. But if you have like say all of them which are taken as additional, then it does not restrict you in any way.
Okay, yes, thank you. And also, sir, sorry.
Go ahead, please.
Thank you. Sir, you mentioned that you would be telling about some conferences, sir. Like, what was that about exactly?
Okay, so if you want to follow where the new things around deep learning are happening, then the places where you can follow for the proceedings and also go through the most of the sessions are video recorded actually and available on YouTube or any Facebook platforms, etc. Most of them are on YouTube. So the places where you should look through, one is NeurIPS, Neural Information Processing Systems Conference. The other one is ICLR, International Conference on Learning Representations. Then there is CVPR, Computer Vision and Pattern Recognition, and the annual meeting of that one. Then there is ICCV, International Conference on Computer Vision. Then there is ECCV, European Conference on Computer Vision. Then there is ACCV, Asian Conference on Computer Vision. There is ICPR. Several of them, primary places I would recommend is essentially NeurIPS, ICLR, and CVPR.
Okay, sir. Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, I wanted to ask something regarding the application of deep learning. Sir, can we will we be learning about applications in earth science or some climate changes, application regarding climate changes?
No, I'm not covering applications on earth science and climate changes. The reason is that we have a separate subject called as machine learning for earth system sciences. So that's where there is a much detailed coverage being done. So I don't do it in this particular one. That's the reason why we don't even do its application in, say, economics. We don't do its application in cyber physical systems because they are separate subjects which we offer.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Sir, will we be doing the application of deep learning and computational biology?
I don't have a use case as of now, but if there are people who are interested, I will have to speak to get down somebody who is an expert on computational biology to actually come and speak something around deep learning on computational biology. But personally, I don't do it, so I don't have any experience as such on it.
Sure, sir.
Okay, guys, it's already 11. Then we can close for the day and we meet tomorrow at 9 with the first lecture.
Excuse me, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, Nikhil created some WhatsApp group.
Okay. Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
I said I have another very weird question. So I also want to take ML this course in this semester if possible. So Advait sir is saying if I could ask you if I could take this course in additional and I can take ML course in as my elective. Is that possible, sir?
You can take it. So take this in additional or take that in elective. All of these changes you will. So if it is already approved and on your grade card and you would like. And so is it there on your semester registration card?
Yes, sir, it is.
So if you have to alter it, then you have to write a letter addressing to the Associate Dean of Faculty of Engineering and Architecture 1 for undergraduate studies and send that letter through your departmental faculty advisor and through the head of the department of your host department. We don't have any role to play and put this request. If it gets approved, ERP will change it.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'll see that. Thank you.
Yep. So Nikhil has put down a WhatsApp group. So is that for discussing things within our class or what's the purpose? Okay, and Nikhil left. So I don't know what the purpose is. I will try joining into that one later on. Okay, see you guys then. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Have a nice day.
Yep, you too. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.